What's up, guys? Bloodshed here. Today we're going to help out the new players, the new Diablos, the new Nephilims that spawn in Sanctuary. Yes, this is a new player guide. We are now currently, if you're curious, in the 261 era, the season 12 era of Diablo, but most of these tips should be available. Now, this is not everything. I encourage my community to add things in the comments. New players probably look around in the comments for all the advice to try to soak up everything that they can get. So please, if I miss anything, put it down below. I'm sure they would love to read about it and things like that. All right, first things first, let's talk about key bindings. Okay, let's get yourself familiar with the game's controls. I do this with any game I play. You know, I'm always rebinding melee and all that stuff. What you want to do is go to the options menu, go down to key bindings. Okay, and this only works on the PC version. You want to scroll down to force stand still. You want to bind that to something comfortable, and you want to go down to force move. Get familiar with force stand still and force move. I'm going to go over them right now. Force stand still allows you to stand still while casting. So if you're running around and there's explosions going off, there's monsters throwing things at you, it allows you to instantly stop, cast anywhere on the screen, and not have to walk forward, walk into the explosion, walk off a cliff or whatever, right? It keeps your character in place, really useful, especially for group play when you're trying to stand inside monk buffs and things like that. Let's go down here and talk about force move. So force move is equally important. It allows you to move around the map like so. You can see I can kind of run circles around people here, kind of circles, and not have to worry about it. If I wasn't doing that, it would stop and I would talk to them, or I would attack if it was a mob. It's really frustrating. You're not able to move freely, and sometimes you need to get away, you need to walk through. It's just way easier. You can bind it to your mouse wheel. So I have it bound to mouse wheel down. You can see it, the little ripple effect on the screen. And you can actually bind it to your keyboard. So a lot of people use spacebar. I use a Razer Tartarus or an Orb Weaver, Razer Orb Weaver. So I'm gonna put the links down in the description if you're curious. It's like a gamepad. I just use force move on my thumb. And when I want precise movements, I use my mouse wheel. So you can actually bind it to two different things. I would recommend you bind it to your mouse wheel and your keyboard and just get used to both of them. They're both really cool. So another thing new players don't know is you can actually use the map to teleport and it doesn't affect your town portal. So let's say we're in the bridge of Corsic right here, right? So let's make a town portal. So what you can do is you can teleport to your friends. You can use their portraits to teleport to them. You can use their flag to teleport to your friends. You can open up the map and teleport to your friends that way. So let's go ahead and let's say my friend's in the Northern Highlands and he has a goblin for me. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go kill the goblin. You know, boom, boom, dead goblin, dead corpse. Pick up a book. And we want to go back to the bridge of Corsic, right? Like, let's say we're deep in the bounty and we don't want to lose our spot. You can actually open up the map and teleport that way, and it doesn't erase your town portal. So don't town portal because you still have your original town portal to the bridge of Corsic. So you can see it's still here. So use the map to teleport. The too long didn't listen. Use the map to teleport and click on your friend's portraits if you just want to teleport to them, or click on their portrait right here. Super easy. Once you start earning Paragon on your character, you can click to go up by 5 points at a time, or you can shift click to go up by 50 points, or you can control click to go up by 100 points. So it's a lot easier to max out your Paragon by holding down control, as opposed to, this is dreadful. We used to have to do this all the time. This closet next to your stash space is called the Armory. It's basically like a system that saves your builds and your gear and everything. So you can have like a build for a blood build. You can have it for greater rifts, for bounties, for different things. You can have a gold leech build. This is what I have here. So when I want my friends to carry me through stuff and I want to get lots of gold in the process, I use this one, right? So there's different builds for different things. One thing people don't know also, you can right click the thing here, this little tab, thing tab, and you can change the portrait. So if it's a seasonal build or if it's a gold build, right? Where's my gold build? Down here, gold lol, right? You can change the different portraits to whatever picture you want. So it's another easily recognizable feature. You can also do that on the stash tab. So you can right click the stash tab and change whatever you want on it. Now this is definitely on the PC version. I'm not too sure about the console version. One thing people ask me is, hey Blood, yo, how do you have so many stash tabs, man? I'm jealous. How do I get that? How do I get my hands on that? Well, the game allows you to buy up to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can actually buy from the game. Oh, if you just buy Reaper of Souls and whatever. You can earn up to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 during seasons. You just work your way through the seasonal journey. I forget what tier it's actually on. I've already earned my 4 maximum a long time ago. But work your way through the season journey and it'll tell you in this corner when you unlock things. Just like it showed me right here when I unlocked my season 11 portrait and pet, right? So complete the season journey and you'll see it pop up and you can earn up to 4, 1 per season. And the last 2 are from the Necromancer pack. So if you buy the Rise of the Necromancer pack, you can get that on console or PC. You get 2 more stash spots, but my console bros have different types of stash space. Feels bad, man. People always ask me, hey Blood, what gear do I need to save? Do I save everything? Do I salvage it? What's the deal? What do I keep? And that really depends on the build that you're doing. So as you're leveling or you hit level 70, look up some great popular builds on Diablo fans. Here on YouTube, there's amazing creators all over the place. I'll put a link to all my builds down below as well. I'll try to put as much information in the description of this video for new players that I think might help them. So definitely check the description. But I can run through a few things that you might want to keep while leveling. One of them is called the Bovine Bluddshed. We call them cow sticks. We just call them cow sticks in the community. What they do is you can put them in the cube and they open up cow levels. So you just put them in Kanai's cube and hit transmute and it opens up a portal and there's cows, lots of treasure chests, lots of nonsense. And they're coming to get me, man. I'm out of here. So that opens up the cow level. One thing about the cow level, there is no cow level. So I know it might be confusing, but yeah, sorry about that. Another thing you want to keep are puzzle rings. So puzzle rings open up a portal to a goblin realm full of gold. You want to do this on the highest difficulty you can. So you put them in the cube, hit transmute just like the cow stick, opens up a vault. So people actually get rid of these as they're leveling. New players don't know, man. How would they know, right? How would they know? So you can see it's a treasure realm with gold and all kinds of goodies. I'm going to actually leave because we're making a video. So the goblins are going to have to wait till after the video. But yeah, there's tons of loot in here. You'll walk away with millions and millions of gold. So save your puzzle rings and your bovine Bluddshed. Another thing are Reaper's Wraps. So Reaper's Wraps are actually a pattern. You can actually craft some legendaries. So if you're following a build on Diablo fans and you're like, where are these? They're not dropping for me. Make sure that they're not a craftable item at the blacksmith. There's a few craftable items that we actually do use from the blacksmith. And yeah, make sure it's not a craftable item and make sure it's not a bounty drop. So if you open up your menu, you can see Act 1. If you complete all of the little questies here, if you complete all of them, you get a bounty cache, and that's actually how you get the Ring of Royal Grandeur. So I get a comment probably once a week saying, Blood, I've been farming this ring all week, it's not dropping. That's because the only way you can get it is through bounties. Now there's a few items like that. So just make sure you just do a quick Google search. You might need illusory boots or something like that. Just do a quick Google search and make sure that, you know what I mean, you're farming the right place for it because it won't drop at Kadala. And if you don't know, you earn blood shards when you kill goblins or you close greater rifts or regular rifts, you earn blood shards. You can spend those shards on gear. So if I had a really bad helmet and I'd want to buy a good one, you just right click it and try to get an ancient one, right? So that's one thing that you can do. Let's go ahead and get rid of this stuff here. Speaking of what gear to save, let's talk about follower gear really quick. Now, follower gear, it does really depend on your class and specs. So definitely follow a guide, ask questions, check me out, twitch.tv/bloodshed. We can answer them for you live. There's weird combos, right? So you can't really make a mistake using the Templar or the Enchantress. They're the best 2 followers as of right now. If you're using a Unity, then your Enchantress needs to have one. So if you're playing solo, you actually get the benefit of you wearing a Unity and she wears a Unity, and then the damage is split between you guys. It's a really awesome damage reduction item. But the best follower item is the Oculus Ring. You can see I have one here. It creates an 85% multiplicative damage ring of power on the battlefield. So when you're playing solo, your Enchantress is going to proc this just by wearing the ring. This is the best follower item as of right now. It gives you a huge damage increase, especially if you get it early on while leveling, doing stuff. and you just make sure you stand in the ring, and then it just buffs up your damage for all your abilities. And the Essa Johann is another good one. This isn't particularly good for my build, that's why I'm not using it, but probably 80% of builds use this item for their follower. Chance on hit to pull enemies toward their target. So it kind of groups them up like a little AoE grab, pulls them all together, and then allows you to kill them. And it keeps you alive too. A lot of times it kind of pulls them to the follower and keeps them off of you. So another good follower item. But again, you got to check the guides, ask questions for further knowledge. I get asked all the time, Blood, how do I progress the game? What do I do? What class do I play? I would say play whatever class makes you happy. We're in a golden era Diablo. Everything is amazing. Everything has a fast build. Everything is really in a good spot. Play what class makes you happy. As far as progression goes, what you want to do is play the campaign, enjoy the story, you know, go through all the acts, go through, kill Diablo, kill Malthael. And once you're done with that, you'll unlock adventure mode. Unless you're playing a season, the seasonal, like the competitive mode, you can actually jump into the seasons right away with us. Okay, so jump into the season, start game, pick a difficulty that you're comfortable on. You can just jump into a Torment Rift and see how it goes. You go to the obelisk. There's one in every single town. And you run regular rifts. Nephilim rifts is what we call them, right? Regular Nephilim rifts. And you earn these things called Greater Rift Keystones, okay? You can't do a Greater Rift until you do a regular Rift. So you see how it works. I do this to do this. Nephilim Rifts provide the 3 main crafting materials we use in a lot of recipes for like item rerolls and things like that. Death's Breath, which is really powerful in getting new gear through Kanai's Cube. Forgotten Souls, and Blood Shards. Like I said earlier, Blood Shards, you can roll them at the vendor to get random gear. Once you earn a lot of Greater Rift tokens, I like to do a balanced attack early season or early progression, like maybe 7 regular rifts, and then I'll go and do 7 Greater Rifts. So what you do is when you do a Greater Rift, you can see what the equivalents are. It's roughly Torment 2, Torment 3, you can kind of see where you are. And you get these legendary gems. Like, so here's the legendary gem right here. So you get the legendary gem. It starts out at, I think at rank 0 or 1. I can't remember. Brain fart or something. But once you complete the Greater Rift, you can level up your legendary gems. So that's pretty much what we do. Is you do a bunch of these, you get a bunch of keystones to level up all your gems. There's about 23 gems or so. Sorry if I don't know the exact number. About 23 gems or so, and they all give you really, really incredible power. Like here's 105. Bane of the Trapped, and it increases my damage against enemies under the effects of control impairing effects by 46%, right? So if an enemy has a crowd control on them, they're going to be taking increased damage by a lot. So legendary gems was a huge power creep. They're basically really strong. You want to level them up as fast as possible, as high as you can as possible solo. When you get to a certain point, I would say maybe around Greater Rift 80 to 90, especially if you're a new player, maybe in the low 80s, then you want to look at augmenting your gear. Kel'Thuzan's Despair is basically like you take this gem, you put it in the cube, you take a pair of gloves that are ancient, so you look for ancient gear. You can only augment ancient gear, and you basically destroy the gem, and it gives your gloves main stat. You get 5 points of main stat per gem level. So 100 gem level times 5 main stat, you get the idea. So that's another way to progress. It's rifts, regular rifts, greater rifts, over and over and over and over again. Get up gems really, really high. Get the gems that you need. You wear the gems that you need, and you destroy the gems you don't need to give yourself further power. You can see I have 2.1 million sheet damage on my seasonal character here, and I enchanted most of my gear with about 91 gems. Blood, what's the purpose of all this, man? Why do you want to get so strong, man? Well, for me, I like pushing on the leaderboards. So I haven't been playing a lot. I've been, you know, grinding and on the PTR making videos for you guys. But I think I'm still rank. Are we still rank? Yeah, we did a 105 about on 8/17, so it's now over a month old. I haven't been playing. I've been playing on the PTR making videos and stuff. But yeah, we're still rank 119. So I love me some solo pushing on the leaderboard and climbing higher and higher and higher with my gear. So the more and more main stat, the more and more power you get, the better gear you get, the higher you can push and compete on the leaderboard. You can also do that by yourself, or you can do it with a 2-player group, a 3-player group, or a 4-player group. So it's kind of fun. There's a lot of different ways to progress in Diablo. Most of it is pushing on the leaderboard, but it's actually kind of really fun when you get new highs that you never thought was even possible. Like, man, like I never got a 90 before, I never got a GR 100 down before, and things like that. So it's a really good feeling watching your character grow from level 1 with great items to, you know, fully decked out in augments. And the cube is a monster. You really can use this to your advantage. This would be a whole video in itself. So I just click on the book and it tells you exactly what it does. Extract legendary power. That's how you put things in the cube that can further increase your damage. You can actually cube low level legendaries. And so like if you get like a level 20 item or whatever, like let's say you got this at level 20, you can actually put it in the cube and it would be there for you at level 70. It gives you the max value. If you just look at the recipes, it's pretty awesome, right? You run bounty materials. So if you do a bunch of bounties, you can take your item, fill it with bounty materials, and re-roll that same item over and over again as long as you have bounty materials. Really powerful stuff on how to get your gear better. So you want really good gear because you can only augment legendary items, right? Ancient items, I'm sorry. You can only augment ancient items, so you want to try to get the best gear possible. Here's another way to get gear. You can take a yellow item and you can actually buy it from a vendor, or you can craft it. I think we have a vendor down here. So let's just buy this item, and then you can go to the Hope of Cain, fill it up. So since you're doing a bunch of regular rifts to get keystones anyway, you should have a bunch of materials. Put it in the cube, hit fill button, it'll fill it automatically, hit transmute, and it'll give you a random legendary of that same type. So if it's a one-handed sword or a two-handed sword, it'll be a two-handed sword. And then the skill of Nilfer allows you to reroll set items. So you can take, like if you have 2 pairs of boots and you need to fill out your set, you can actually fill it up and then get another random pair of boots. I bet you everyone in chat is waiting for me to accidentally ruin my gear by clicking on stuff. But yeah, you can go through and you can switch around your materials, your crafting materials. Like if you have too many veiled, all the recipes are here. I encourage you to kind of just read through it and check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you're a new player, if you're a veteran, if you stuck it out and hung out with me, I appreciate that as well. I'm more of an off-the-cuff kind of guy, so if there's anything I missed, feel free to put it in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer it, or ask me live at twitch.tv/bloodshed. I stream there all the time. Diablo is my life. I love me some Diablo. Look at the Enchantress looking over my wings. How creepy. Can you not be so close to me all the time? I appreciate the support. If you want to support further, you can, I think you can sub here on YouTube, or you can sub on Twitch. I would prefer Twitch, but it doesn't matter either way. I appreciate you guys just liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. You can also check out my Patreon down below in the description. This is the Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. I'm out of breath. Peace.